pastry, whipped cream with crème pâtissière, fresh fruits, finish with the cream and lemon. Last one is the coupe André.
I've kept in touch with the pastry trade since I was 14. I like the people in pastry. Hard work, low profile, always in the shadow of the chef. They are the miners of the catering industry. Also, I like it because I've got a sweet tooth. Yes. Should you say the same?
No, my
You haven't
tooth.
been keeping in touch with the pastry
Well,
world
you know, may I
and the
remind you,
patisserie
I've done 4 years as a pastry against you 3 years. But my
But
specialty...
I've been in touch with them every year.
No, but I have not. My specialty is more in the dough.
Oh,
It's
yeah?
more life. If I put my hand in the flour, my whole body vibrates.
That is very true. But what about the fact of life, which is that you're a very good baker, or what we call a boulanger, which is very well known, and you're not an artist like I am?
Well, you know, you may eat your cake full of sugar flour, and if you got a denture, it stick in your denture, and the denture comes out with it.
I think...
I'd rather eat my piece of bread, nice and crusty.
Yes, well,
Yes.
since you only know how to make bread, I leave you there, and I'm going to do a bit of work.
Why don't you?
Yeah.
Why don't you?
Now I'm going to make shortcrust pastry. Shortcrust pastry is one of the best pastry, one of the most simple pastry as well, the basic one. And to do so, you need the flour, plain flour. You need soft butter, a little butter which is at room temperature. You've got the eggs. You've got the little sugar and the salt. And finally, the milk. Milk should be cold and added last. Now, when you make dough, do remember hygiene is very important, and you should first of all take your watch off and your ring. It's no good to try to make pastry with rings on, and you've got to lose them up, put them in a pocket on one side, as you don't want flowers and butter everywhere. So the jewelry is not on. Now, what you need, it's a piece of marble or a piece of wood. Then you need a piece of pepper. The sieve is there. You take a little sieve and you sieve your flour. The reason to sieve it onto a paper is that it's much more practical, a lot more practical than doing it in a plate. You can move the paper around, as you can see. You just dip it onto your marble. Make a little well in the middle. And place your different ingredient. Now, as I said again, butter must be soft, and it is. So in the middle, all the ingredient apart from the milk. When you do mix it with your fingertips, very gently, don't use your two hands, and the fingertips are there really to do all the work, as you can see. It's no good to get all your hands into it and get it messy. Short crust is a lovely pastry to make as well when you've got fillet of beef en croûte, fish en croûte, so you want to wrap them in a lovely dough. So that's the one which you use. And of course for tartelette and tart, little flan through the year. Now the batter is softened it up. You see, I'm taking a little time. Most important that it should be nicely mixed before you bring back with your other hand slowly the flour in the middle. Now it's a Same principle for all the dough. All the dough should be mixed the same way and not overworked. The only dough which need to be worked a lot is brioche and the bread. Now it is almost ready. You can see that the pastry is becoming crumbly. I first started in pastry to work on the wooden table. So if you don't have a marble, do not bother. Wood is perfect. And it is time to add the milk. Knead it gently. And the mixing is almost done. So what you need now to clean your hand. Never wash your hand, you just wrap it, take it off like that, and then use a little flour. Take a little flour from another bowl. Wash your hand, each fingers. Bring back all the elements in the middle.
I hope I didn't belittle myself.
And now we knead it with the wrist a few times, very gently. The milk, some flour takes a little more milk than others. So you've got to follow the recipe, but if you think that your dough is a bit too firm, you just add a little more. That's ready. And that's the dough is ready. You see that I'm not overworking it. It's still nice and soft. So I'm going to form a ball. There we are. I'm going to place it now into a little plastic. And it's going to go to the fridge. Now, at the water deciding to make our bread, we use Canadian flour. The reason is that there is a very high content of gluten and protein into the flour, strong flour, and that's what we want, as bread needs to be a little elastic and the dough must have a lot of body. It's not at all the same here. What we want for making pastry and making cake, generally speaking, it's a light flour. So we're using English flour, English plain flour.